audio or not. If not, then tell me. Okay, we'll check in with other mode.
All, hope you all are doing well. Today we are going to discuss the estimation of blood glucose by glucose oxidase
You are getting the audio
on the meter. This is the second video on my video series of biochemistry, and it is one of the good topics of the aspects related to the biochemistry. It is frequently asked in a exam. In today's video, we will discuss what are the various different methods available for the blood glucose estimation. Then we will see estimation of blood glucose by GOD-POD method in the detail, along with the various Viva questions asked frequently in the Viva on this particular topic. And in the end, we will see hands-on estimation of blood glucose by GOD-POD method on the glucometer. So please watch this video till the end, and before going into detail, please subscribe my YouTube channel, that is Biochemistry Basics by Dr. Amit. Don't forget to press the bell icon so you important indicator of the body function. It is actually maintained in the normal range with various hormones. Two main hormones which are regulating the blood glucose level is
Ma'am, ma'am, மேம் உங்க மைக் மியூட்ல இருக்கு மேம், கேட்கல மேம் எதுவும்.
மைக் மியூட்ல இருந்தா கேட்கலீங்களா
மேம்?
Okay, okay. Now I'll play again then.
we will see hands-on estimation of blood glucose by GOD-POD method on the glucometer. So please watch this video till the end, and before going into detail, please subscribe my YouTube channel, that is Biochemistry Basics by Dr. Amit. Don't forget to press the bell icon so you can get all the notifications from it. So aim is to estimate blood glucose in the given sample. And the introduction is, some blood sugars include all the hexoses, even though main hexose present in the blood is glucose. And the blood glucose level is an important indicator of the body function. It is actually maintained in the normal range with various hormones. Two main hormones which are regulating the blood glucose level is insulin, which is a hypoglycemic hormone, and glucagon, which is a hyperglycemic hormone. If there is any abnormality of the blood glucose level, it indicates disturbances of the carbohydrate metabolism. And the one important lifestyle disorder associated with the abnormality of the blood glucose level is diabetes mellitus, which is characterized by hyperglycemia. It means increase in the blood glucose level, which occurs due to the absolute or relative insulin deficiency. Now, methods for the glucose estimation. So there are the various methods available for the glucose estimation. Among this, key methods are important one. First one is the reduction method. Second one is the condensation method, and the third one is the enzymatic method. In the reduction methods, examples are Follin-Wu method and Nelson-Somogyi method. In the condensation method, example is the orthotoluidine method, and in the enzymatic method, examples are hexokinase method and glucose oxidase peroxidase method. Among this reduction method and enzymatic method is more specific as compared to the reduction method because there are very few interfering substances are there and the reagents are more stable as compared to the reduction method. And this enzymatic methods measure the true glucose. And so these are the advantages of enzymatic method. While in the reduction method, estimation of glucose by the reduction method, there will be the various interfering substances will be there. Various interference by the various reducing substances like uric acid, bilirubin, vitamin C. So it will not measure the true glucose value. That is the one of the disadvantage of the reduction method. Another disadvantage of the reduction method, it is a multi-step approach. Fine. While the enzymatic method, there is a single step. Only. Another disadvantage of reduction method is it doesn't measure the true glucose value. So only advantage of reduction method is they are cost effective as compared to the enzymatic method. But nowadays, the only used method for the glucose estimation is enzymatic method, and in the enzymatic method, examples are hexokinase method and GOD-POD method. In this video, we will also discuss the principle of hexokinase method, and we will also discuss why hexokinase method is better as compared to the GOD-POD method. Estimation of blood glucose by glucose oxidase and peroxidase method. The principle of glucose estimation by GOD-POD method is glucose present in the blood is converted to gluconic acid and hydrogen peroxide by glucose oxidase, and the hydrogen peroxide is catalyzed by the peroxidase enzyme to the H2O and nascent oxygen. This 4-amino antipyrine, which is an oxygen will accept this nascent oxygen, and in the presence of phenol, it will be converted to the pink color chromosome. And the intensity of this pink color will be directly proportional to the concentration of glucose present in the solution. If it is a darker pink color, that means glucose present in the blood or in the solution is higher. And we have to measure the intensity of the color at 520 nanometer wavelength, and we have to compare with that of standard treated similarly. So that is the principle of glucose oxidase method, glucose oxidase peroxidase method, which is asked frequently in the exam. Now reagents required for the glucose estimation by GOD-POD method. So the first one is the glucose reagent. In the glucose reagent, it consists of glucose oxidase, peroxidase, 4-amino antipyrine, and phenol. Along with the glucose reagent, we also require glucose standard, and the value of the glucose standard is known, which is 100 milligram per deciliter. Now, procedure for the glucose estimation by GOD-POD method. So first, you have to take 3 test tubes and label them as blank, standard, and test, and then proceed as follows. So first, take the blank in the blank test tube, that is 10 microliter. Then take the standard glucose standard in the standard test tube 10 microliter, and then add unknown sample 10 microliter in the test tube. And after taking the blank, standard, and test, add 1 ml of glucose oxidase peroxidase reagent in all this test tube. Mix thoroughly and incubate at 37 centigrade for 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, you have to read the optical density on the colorimeter at 520 nanometer or beam filter. After reading the optical density, you have to feed the optical density in this formula, that is optical density of test minus optical density of blank divided by optical density of standard minus optical density of blank multiplied by concentration of standard. Concentration of standard is known, which is 100 milligram per deciliter. After feeding the optical density in this formula, you will get the blood glucose. Now, normal range of blood glucose. So there are the various normal ranges of the blood glucose are there. First one is the fasting blood glucose. The fasting blood glucose, the sample is collected after 10 to 12 hours of fasting. Then there is a postprandial blood glucose, PP2BS. The blood sample is collected after 2 hours taking the meal, and the random blood glucose. In the random blood glucose, blood sample is collected randomly. The normal value for the fasting blood glucose is 70 to 100 milligram per deciliter. For the postprandial blood sugar, it is less than or equal to 140 milligram per deciliter, and for the random blood sugar, it is 80 to 140 milligram per deciliter. So these are the various normal ranges of the blood glucose. You have to remember this normal ranges. It is frequently asked in a viva as well as in the theoretical exam. Now, interpretations of value. So first we will see the hyperglycemia. The reasons, available reasons for the hyperglycemia. So there are the physiological reasons and there are the biological reasons. So the physiological reasons for the hyperglycemia are the high carbohydrate diet, emotional distress, anger and anxiety that also can lead to hyperglycemia, and pregnancy. Pregnancy can also lead to the hyperglycemia. And the pathological reasons for the hyperglycemia is insulin deficiency that can be absolute and relative, which leads to the diabetes mellitus. If there is any hyperactivity in the adrenal gland, thyroid gland, and pituitary gland, then it can also lead to the hyperglycemia. These are the various physiological and pathological reasons of the hyperglycemia, and the most common one is the insulin deficiency, which leads to the diabetes mellitus. Now, common causes of hypoglycemia, that means reduced blood glucose concentration. The physiological are during starvation, after severe exercise. So these are the physiological reasons for the hypoglycemia. And the pathological reasons for the hypoglycemia is overdose of the insulinoma, and if there is a decreased activity of the pituitary gland, thyroid gland, and adrenal gland. Along with that, glycogen storage diseases. All can lead to the hypoglycemia. And remember, hypoglycemia is more dangerous as compared to the hyperglycemia. If the blood glucose level is less than 45 milligram per deciliter, then it is a critical condition. These are the various reasons for the hypoglycemia. Now let's see the viva question. The first question is explain principle of the hexokinase method. The hexokinase method principle is hexokinase convert glucose into the glucose 6-phosphate, and this glucose 6-phosphate is oxidized to the 6-phosphogluconate by the glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase, which leads to the synthesis of NADH. And we have to measure the absorbance of this NADH at T40 nanometer wavelength. This hexokinase method is better as compared to the glucose oxidase peroxidase method because there are the very few interfering substances are available in the estimation. unit by the glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase, which leads to the synthesis of NADH. And we have to measure the abundance of this NADH at T40 nanometer wavelength. This hexokinase method is better as compared to the glucose oxidase peroxidase method because there are the very few interfering substances available in the estimation of glucose by the hexokinase method. And it is a level. We have already discussed the normal values of the fasting postprandial and random there is a presence of explaining the principle of that enzymatic method is more specific. Is HbA1c. HbA1c is a glycated hemoglobin which is formed by the non-enzymatic reaction. Glucose unit will be attaching to the globin chain of hemoglobin non-enzymatically, and we can get the average glucose value for 120 days. So that is the glycated hemoglobin, and this glycated hemoglobin is the advanced test available for the diagnosis as well as for the monitoring of the diabetes mellitus. What are the tests for the diagnosis or diagnosing diabetes mellitus? So the first test we have already discussed, that is glycated hemoglobin. Glycated hemoglobin is more than 6.5%, and that is one of the criteria for the diagnosing diabetes mellitus. Another test we can do for the diagnosis of diabetes mellitus is the oral glucose tolerance test, which is called as a OG. Another question is, what is the diagnostic criteria for the diabetes mellitus? So the diagnostic criteria for the diabetes mellitus laid down by the American Diabetic Association is, if the RBS random blood sugar value is greater than or equal to 200 milligram per deciliter with classical symptoms of diabetes mellitus, that is polyuria, polyphagia, and polydipsia. If the fasting blood sugar value is greater than or equal to 126 milligram per deciliter, and the post-load glucose value in the OGTT is greater than or equal to 200 milligram per deciliter, and if the glycated hemoglobin is greater than 6.5 percentage. So these are the criteria laid down by American Diabetic Association for the diagnosis of diabetes mellitus, and everyone should remember this by heart. Now, how blood glucose is regulated? So, blood glucose is regulated by the various hormones like insulin and glucagon. Insulin is called as a hypoglycemic hormone, and glucagon is called as a hypoglycemic hormone. Now, blood glucose estimation by glucose oxidase and peroxidase method. So, as we have already seen the theoretical part of estimation of plasma glucose, now we will see how to do the operational procedure for the plasma glucose. For that, you will also be needing various micropipettes along with the tubes. So these are the volumetric pipettes. Fine. So this both are the volumetric pipettes, and these are the micro tips, and these are the micro tips. Now you have to see how to insert this tips into the tip holder of the pipettes. So this is the way you have to hold the tip into the tip holder. Fine. So now we will see. First step for the estimation of plasma glucose is labeling of the test tube. Fine, so the first you have to label the test tube. First is the blank. Then you have to label standard. Second test tube, label it as a standard. And the third test tube, label it as a test. After the labeling part is over, now you have to take the 10 microliter of blank into the blank test tube. So in the blank we are taking the distilled water, so take the 10 microliter of it and add that 10 microliter of blank in the test tube. Make sure that it is in the bottom of the test tube. Then you have to take the 10 microliter of the standard. The concentration of the standard is it is 100 milligram per deciliter. So take the 10 microliter of the standard in the standard test tube. Fine, so this is the standard test tube. And then you have to take the 10 microliter of the test. The concentration of the test is unknown, we have to find it out. So take the 10 microliter of the standard, 10 microliter of the test in the test tube. After the adding blank, standard and test, now you have to add 1000 microliter of GOD POD reagent in all these 3 test tubes. So you have to take the 1000 microliter of the GOD POD reagent and first you have to add into the blank test tube. So this is the blank. After adding the reagent, mix it properly. Then again take 1000 microliter of the GOD POD reagent. Add into the standard test tube and mix it properly. And again take the 1000 microliter of the GOD POD reagent and mix it properly in the test tube. After mixing it, you have to keep all these 3 test tubes into the incubator for the 10 minutes. So this is the incubator. The temperature of the incubator is set at 37 degrees. So you have to keep it for the 10 minutes. So this is after 10 minutes of incubation period. As you can see, there is a color change in the standard and there is a color change in the test. As the concentration is higher, the color will be the more darker. So as you can see in the test, color is more darker as compared to the standard. Now we will take the optical density in the colorimeter. We have already set the 0 by giving water blank in the colorimeter. So now we will take the optical density of the blank, standard and test. So you have to take that blank in flat bottom test tube, transfer that reagent in the flat bottom test tube and take the optical density. So the optical density of the blank is already taken. Then take the optical density of the standard. So this is the optical density of the standard, 0.34. And then take the optical density of the test. So this is the optical density of the test. Now after taking the optical density of the blank, standard and test, you have to feed that optical density into the formula and then you have to calculate the concentration. So this is how you can do the estimation of glucose with the help of colorimetry by GOD-POD method. Thank you for watching. Thank you.
Hope you have understood. how to estimate blood glucose by enzymatic method, glucose oxidase and peroxidase method, and the importance of hexokinase method also, and principle behind all the methods to estimate blood glucose. And some Viva questions also you have seen. Hopefully you have got some idea. Now let me share our manual copy so that we'll discuss what procedure we have means we'll be discussing, you will be learning in lab. Okay, according to your syllabus. So now you can find the manual. Quantitative estimation of blood sugar by Foley tungstate tube method. What are the requirements we need to prepare? Means protein free filtrate, we require sodium tungstate solution and sulfuric acid. Hope you know about preparing the protein free filtrate or Foley tungstate filtrate. That is why the method is called Foley tungstate tube method. Okay, and we require Benedict's reagent, which comprises of copper, alkaline copper reagent, and phosphomolybdic acid. This is the composition of Benedict's quantitative reagent. So we require only totally three things. For preparing protein-free filtrate, we require deprotonating agents, then standard glucose solution, then Benedict's reagent. Okay. Then test tubes. How many test tubes we require? 3 test tubes. One to prepare blank, standard, and another to prepare test. How many test tubes? You should have seen in the video itself. They have prepared the solutions with 3 test tubes: blank for blank, standard, and test. Similarly, you need to choose test tubes. Test tube stands, drawn the tubes, then water bath, calorimeter, and sample cells, cuvettes. Here the concept is, what method, basic principle behind this method is a reduction method. Glucose is the reducing sugar. It will reduce what? Cupric compound to cupric reagent to cuprous. Okay, so it will be converting cupric form or cupric salt of Benedict's reagent to cuprous form. That is the concept we'll follow in this method, Foley tungstate tube method. So that it is called reduction method. Reduction occurs due to glucose, since it is a reducing sugar. And this color change during this reaction, color change will occur. Already you have performed a qualitative test, right? Benedict's qualitative test, and urine blood sugar also you have done with the same reagent. And hope you have observed the color change. You have got a green colored solution, right? Similarly, according to the glucose concentration, the color change will be from light yellow, orange, green, orange, yellow, and red. So it is based on the concentration of glucose present in the blood. Okay, and this will be measured at red filter at 620 nanometers. So according to the color and its intensity, we'll be choosing the lambda max. Now let's move on with the procedure. So you have to draw, like creatinine estimation, you have drawn the schematic representation. In the same manner, you have to draw schematic representation for blood glucose estimation also. So 3 test tubes you draw. In that each test tube you need to add means in the test tube you need to add 1 ml of the clear filtrate. Filtrate is what? Protein free filtrate. So this first 2 lines represents the preparing protein free filtrate. Since sodium tungstate is a costly, expensive chemical, we will be going with alternate reagent, that is trichloroacetic acid filtrate. So Then that filtrate of 1 ml should be taken in the Folin tungstate tube, and you need to mark it as test. Okay, and in the second Folin tube you have to take 1 ml standard glucose solution of concentration 0.1 milligram per ml. 1 milligram represents 0.1 milligram represents 100 microgram per ml. How much concentration of standard you need to take? 100 microgram. 0.1 milligram per ml is to be taken. Okay, and into the third tube marked as blank, take 1 ml water. So in the starting, all the 3 test tubes, 1 ml capacity of the samples are taken. In test tube, what you will be taking? 1 ml clear filtrate, and in the standard test tube, 1 ml standard glucose solution, and in the third tube, blank tube, 1 ml water. Water is solvent, here is standard glucose solution, and here is sample. Okay, and after adding this 1 ml capacity, we need to add 5 ml of reagent, that is Benedict's quantitative reagent. Mix and keep the tubes in a boiling water bath for 10 minutes. Cool it. Read the optical densities at 625 nanometer. As shown in the video, you need to observe the optical density of each sample at 625 nanometer, and those optical densities should be substituted here. Just a minute. Have to substitute in this tabular column for blank. We need to make auto 0 with blank only. Okay, so blank reading will be 0, then standard and test you need to measure. Okay, blank will be having only water and Bendix reagent. Standard will be having standard glucose solution and Bendix reagent. Test will be having blood sample and Bendix reagent. Just a minute. So you write the readings, whatever you have got. I will give you from the old record whatever readings I am saying, that just you have to fill it here and substitute in the formula given. So glucose in milligram per ml, unit will be milligram per ml of the filtrate. Optical density of test, whatever reading you have got for test at 625 nanometer to be written here, and it is for blank. Blank will be 0 only. Okay, since we need to keep 0 optical density with blank only. Okay, then standard and blank, subtract the value, divide the value and multiply with 0.1. 0.1 represents the concentration of standard, 0.1 milligram, that's why. Okay, and this will give you 1 ml per means 1 milligram per ml. Per ml, what is the concentration you will be getting? Then concentration of glucose in 100 ml of blood. In order to get 100 ml or deciliter, milligram per deciliter, you have to apply this value in this formula. Okay, means whatever value you are getting glucose amount in this formula, first formula, you have to multiply with 100 in order to get milligram per deciliter. So the first formula will tell you about milligram per ml value, and the second formula will tell about milligram per 100 ml value, that is deciliter value. Usually we will be measuring with milligram per deciliter only, no? And you should have observed what is the normal values of different category of blood sugar level, right? So you can compare that level with the readings, and you can conclude what are the clinical significances, conditions. If hyperglycemia, what are all the conditions? Then hypoglycemia, what are all the conditions that you can conclude? Hope you have clear. It is also similar experiment like blood creatinine estimation only. And now I share the link with you. Okay, from record, and you can copy the same, and some people you can copy from the video what you have observed. The same, that ring also can be copied. Hope you are clear about this estimation. Procedure, once again I will tell you, we need to prepare what means these test solution and standard solution. For blank, we will not take any standard, only distilled water is added. For standard and test, standard known concentration of glucose solution is taken. Here unknown blood sample is taken, unknown concentration of glucose in blood is taken in the test tube. For how much ml we are taking? 1 ml each in all the test tubes. So after adding 1 ml of blank, standard and test, we need to add the reagent in order to find the color change and in order to make reaction of glucose and oxidizing agent that is present in the Bendix quantitative reagent. Then your glucose will be reducing that oxidizing agent, that is cupric salt present in the Bendix reagent, and it will be cupric will be getting reduced to cuprous. That is the concept, and this reduction will cause the color change. You will be getting what color? You will be getting color intensity around green color according to the concentration of glucose level. It may be varying from green, red, orange and yellow colors. Okay, so you have to observe what color change you are getting. Here color of the solution is not given. Blue color, no. Mostly green color. Urine glucose level we have got green color only, so green color will be getting. For this concentration you will get, if the concentration is low, we'll be getting green color. When concentration of glucose is high, then it will be giving reddish color. So think that green color it has formed due to this chemical reaction, and the color intensity is observed at 625 nanometers, 625 nanometer in calorimeter. And then the readings, whatever optical density or absorbance obtained from calorimeter is substituted in the formula in order to calculate the amount of glucose present in the sample. In the first calculation, you are doing with only milligram per ml, and in the second calculation, you are doing with milligram per deciliter. So this deciliter value should be written in the report. What are the things you will be writing in your observation? Chemical reaction for this, the purpose of adding reagents, schematic representation, report, discussion, clinical significance. These are all the headings should be there. No need of writing procedure, principle in the word form. No need to write. You can focus with a chemical reaction or flow chart or schematic representation only I require. Whatever there in the manual, no need to copy the same. You have to write additional means points only, which is not there in the manual, only in your observation and submit. Okay, don't start whatever points are given in the manual from the A to Z you are writing. No need to write in the observation that you have in your manual itself. Extra points, additional points only you need to write in your observation and submit. Okay, so what are the points you will be writing? Title you need to, experiment number, date you need to write, aim. No need of writing requirements, principle and procedure. It is there in the manual itself. You can read. Apart from it, you write schematic representation of procedure, then chemical reaction that states about your principal part, then use of reason for using all the chemicals. You can even write a composition of Bendix quantitative reagent and what is the use of each reagent in that. And then fourth point is report, writing report from the calculation, tabular column and calculation. After then report, tabular column, write tabular column. I'll be giving reading now. The same reading you can copy and do the calculation in the given formula. After calculation, in the calculation also you need to mention unit, and in the report also you need to mention unit. After report, you have to write discussion. Whatever I am saying, just note it down and then write in that order only. Okay, discussion. After then references. Then before discussion, also you can write clinical significance and then discussion and then references. Report, discussion, clinical significance, then references. Okay. After completing all the scan and submit. Wait, I'll give you the readings. Hope you can observe the reading for standard 1.07 and for test it is 1.01. Can use. And according to getting a normal value, you can even change the readings. Okay. So the same procedure what we have discussed has been adopted here. Okay. She has got 94 milligram per 100 ml. You know what is the value. You can change standard value, keep it as such. In the sample reading, you can change and put the calculation in order to get normal range value. Okay. If you get less value, then you have to define what are the causes for hypoglycemia. If it is high, you have to define the causes for hyperglycemia. That's what we require. Okay. Okay, thank you all. With this, I'll stop. If any doubt, you can clarify now.
Values.
What ma? Values தெரியலையா? Yeah, quantitative estimation of blood sugar.
Ma'am, இது 540 nanometer போட்டுச்சு ma'am. நீங்க காமிக்கிறது.
அது ஒவ்வொரு ஃபில்டர்ல ஒவ்வொரு மாதிரி பண்ணல. கலர் சேஞ்ச் எப்படி வருதுன்னு பார்க்கணும். கான்சன்ட்ரேஷன் இப்ப ரெட் கலர் அப்படின்னா அவங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி 520 அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணும். ரெட் கலர்னா கிரீன் கலர்னா 620 அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணும். ஓகேங்களா? கலர் இன்டென்சிட்டி பொறுத்து ஒவ்வொரு மெத்தடுக்கும் மாறும். உங்களுக்கு 625 தான் நானோமீட்டர். ஓகே. Brick red precipitate தான் உங்களுக்கு வந்திருக்கு. Blue to a brick red precipitate. You can observe in this principal part what we have got. No optical. Okay, you all can leave the meeting. If any doubt, you can clarify now or else put it as a message in classroom. I'll be clarifying. Thank you all. Yeah.
டிஸ்கஷன்ல என்னென்ன மேம் எழுதணும்?
டிஸ்கஷன்ல நீங்க ரிசல்ட் என்ன வந்திருக்கோ அதை பேஸ் பண்ணி எழுதணும். If you are getting less value from the normal value, what your conclusion and what other methods you have learned. Okay, what are the importance? Glucose estimation in the method la what you have learned. அது ஒரு பாயிண்ட். ஃப்ரம் த ரிப்போர்ட் நீங்க என்ன ஆன்சர் வந்தது? நார்மல்னா நார்மல் வேல்யூ. ஓகே. நார்மல் கண்டிஷன்ல என்னென்ன ஹெல்தி கண்டிஷன்ல என்னென்னலாம் இருக்கும். என்னென்ன மீன்ஸ் ஹார்மோன்ஸ் கிளாண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் நார்மலா ஃபங்க்ஷன் ஆகும். அதை நீங்க மென்ஷன் பண்ணலாம். அதுக்கப்புறம் இஃப் யூ ஆர் ஹேவிங் லோயர் ஆர் ஹையர் வேல்யூ, வாட் ஆர் த காசஸ் ஃபார் தட் யூ கேன் ரைட். After then, clinical significance, normal values of blood sugar levels, this all you can write it under clinical significance, full details.
Okay, ma'am.
This all you should have learned in theory itself under carbohydrate metabolism, I think so. You can refer to that notes also for clinical significance. Draw the schematic representation with color. The test tubes should be mentioned with color change.
மேம் நமக்கு கலர் சேஞ்ச் ரெட் தானே மேம்?
ஆமா, பிரிக் ரெட்.
ஓகே
கான்சன்ட்ரேஷன் நம்ம 100 மில்லிகிராம்ல எடுக்கிறோம் இல்லையா, அப்ப அதிகமா தான் இருக்கும். ரொம்ப மைன்யூட் டைல்யூட்டடா இருந்ததுனா தான் கிரீன் கலர்ல இருக்கும். If we are not diluting much, then it will show red color, red, orange, that color you will be getting.
ஓகே மேம்.
Okay pa, you can all can leave the meeting. Thank you.
மேம் நம்ம அந்த அப்சர்வேஷன்ல வந்து 540 நானோமீட்டர்னு இருந்தது, நம்ம இப்போ 625 நானோமீட்டர்.
உங்க மேனுவல் என்ன இருக்கோ அது மட்டும் எழுதுங்க. 625 எழுதுங்க.
ஓகே மேம்.
Since I have referred and I have given in the manual.
ஓகே மேம். ஓகே.
They would have copied actually from for ortho-tool-leading method. Another method is there. For that we'll be using this wavelength, so that they would have written. And according to the color change in whichever means wavelength, they get a proper reading also would have written. Okay. This is during practical analysis. We'll be finalizing it. Okay. Now you can write 625 only.
ஓகே மேம்.
ஓகே பிரமோத் தானே வேல்யூ வந்து அதிகமா எழுதி இருந்தீங்க?
எஸ் மேம்.
ஏன் அப்படி பண்ணீங்க? கிரியேட்டினின் லெவல் தெரியலையா?
இல்ல மேம், தெரியவே இல்லை மேம், நான் போட்டதே தெரியவே இல்லை மேம், இப்பதான் பார்த்தேன்.
அது எப்படி? நான் கான்சன்ட்ரேஷன் சொன்னேன்ல, மற்றது மாதிரி அது 100 200 கிடையாது, பிலோ 2 மில்லிகிராம் தான் வரும் அப்படின்ட்டு. எல்லாரும் கரெக்டா எழுதிருந்தாங்க எக்ஸப்ட் யூ. ஆல்ரெடி நீங்க மேனுவலே எழுதியிருக்கீங்க. இப்போ நீங்க கரெக்ஷன் வாங்கியிருக்கீங்க இல்லையா, ஆல்ரெடி கம்ப்ளீட்டட் எக்ஸ்பெரிமெண்ட்ஸ், தட் ஆல் யூ கேன் காப்பி இட் இன் யுவர் மேனுவல். ஓகே.
Okay.
Whatever I have given marks, no, the same experiments all can copy it in your manual.
Okay ma'am.
ஒருத்தங்க மேனுவல் எழுதி காமிங்க, நான் ஓகே சொன்ன பின்னாடி மத்தவங்களும் எழுதலாம். ஓகேவா? அதை எல்லாருக்கும் இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணிடுங்க. only 7 are there here. Kindly inform others also. Thank you pa. Can anyone means cut the call? I couldn't leave the meeting now. Something happened. If you all leave the meeting, then I may leave, I think so. I couldn't stop recording also. Muthukumar, Amali, Sandra.